is New Day Northwest. Now, here's Margaret Larson.
Welcome. Starting things off is a New York-based singer-songwriter who recently starred in Broadway's Tony Award-winning musical Natasha Pierre and the Great Comet of 1812 with Josh Groban. She is now touring with her own band and performs in Seattle tomorrow night. She has roots here, too. Please welcome Brittain Ashford and her band Prairie Empire.
To the sun rising and you were there at my side, and I thought, what have I done to deserve love such as yours in my life? We woke up in the place we went to sleep. We woke up in the same place, and you were there sleeping, and I sat up thinking. The look on your face let me know that for the first time I am certain. You make me so sure that for all of my searching and all of my circles, for all of my searching and all of my circles, you held them out the entire time. For all of my searching and all of my circles.
Trying to find a safe path there. How are you?
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
We both have cold.
I know. I was like, oh,
chilly
yeah.
in here. So introduce your band, if you would.
So we've got. I'm like, I can see over there. There's Drew Cooper over here on guitar.
Hi.
We've got Mike Marcinowski on drums.
Awesome.
And Jackie Paola over here on bass.
Yay! Thank you all very much. That was terrific. Tell me, where did you grow up? Where'd you go to school?
So I actually grew up here in Seattle, Washington. I went to Hamilton Middle School. I went to Roosevelt High School.
Great music reputation there.
Great music, great theater reputation. I think it definitely pushed me onto the path I am on now.
And you appear on Broadway with Josh Groban, who just seems like the most talented, nicest, funniest guy. Did you have so much fun?
Yeah, it is all true. He is super, super sweet. He's super, super nice. Like the persona that he exudes, that's absolutely who he is.
I love, following him on Twitter because he is just so humorous. So here's a little bit of video of the show. Tell us about what it was like and the whole experience from your standpoint.
So the show was an immersive production, so it's kind of hard to tell exactly, but it's like the action moved all around the audience. Some of the audience was seated on the stage.
Really?
Some of the ensemble members went up into the balcony. I mean, this is a 1,400 seat theater. So it's definitely happening everywhere. It was an exhausting show. There were lots of stares, but really a beautiful, touching love story about forgiveness and redemption.
We could use some of that.
Yeah.
Couldn't we? So was it at all intimidating? I mean, it is Broadway. It's not,
You know, I had
not
been,
some small thing.
no. I had been working on the show for so long that when we finally got there, I was prepared, but like I didn't quite understand until like that moment. And I remember going into the theater and the stage was very special, very custom. So it's not just you're standing on a black open stage. And I stood in the middle of this like weird golden donut, and I just, I cried because I was like,
I don't blame you.
This is like looking out at all those seats, and I just, you know, it's a little overwhelming.
It's
so,
a dream.
Yeah.
It's a dream realized. How would you describe your music?
It's sort of like joke like sad ambient folk rock. You know, someone the other day was like, oh, it's sort of like the National meets, I can't remember, like Cat Power and like something. I was like, oh, that's it. That's a good list of stuff. Yeah.
There's one of the videos. Yeah. What inspires you in your songwriting?
You know, it just, it sounds really cheesy to say, but maybe just like sort of everyday experiences. Not even necessarily mine, but I find I'm a person who's so like deeply affected by the people and the world around me. It's like you hear a story and you're like, oh, like that's the emotion. Like even like I started writing music when I was 16 and was always told I had sort of this old soul voice, and I was writing these like deeply tragic love songs, you know, when I was like, and they weren't very good because, you know, when you're 16
Were your parents worried?
Why
is she being tragic? She's 16.
Yeah, I think my parents were like, oh, she's doing her thing. You know, it's like Seattle. It's just like, you know, I never saw the sun, so I just, you know, it's just like, which
I'm feeling that way right now.
Right, yeah,
you might be able to write a song about how I feel about the gray weather.
Yeah.
It's that sad. Tell me about your musical influences, what you like to listen to, what you fill your head with from other people.
Gosh, recently I've been listening to a lot of the new St. Vincent album, which I really love. There's a song called New York, which is not just because we live in New York, but I historically love like Iron and Wine. Like Sam Beam is such an inspiration to me. Like I love his gentle quality and like specifically storytelling.
Yeah.
But
gets kind of offered up musically.
Yeah, but and I definitely grew up with a lot of like the Beatles and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. Like that was like my dad's influence for sure. Like, you know, had all the old LPs, and you know, I remember listening to, I think at the time it was KBSG. I still remember that jingle in my head. So definitely, yeah, you guys here. Grew up with a lot of like, you know, the old rock music. But
that's a good foundation.
Yeah.
For what are you liking New York?
I love New York. There are definitely things that I miss about being in the Northwest. And of course, I actually really like the weather. I really like, and part because I'm a fair individual, that to me, like, I kind of like the overcast. Now it's hard, you know, January's always a hard
It's a push.
Stretch,
it's always a push, that's true.
But yeah, I love the weather, I love the green. You know, I do think that the Northwest has absolutely the most beautiful pockets in the entire world. I really do. I
agree.
Still believe that. There's something about like being on the University of Washington campus and you look down and you see that fountain, and then you're like on a clear day, there's Mount Rainier and there's all these trees, and you're just like, oh.
Too good to be true.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All of you. Brittain Ashford performs tomorrow night, 8 o'clock at Fremont Abbey Arts. It's an all-ages show. She's getting away from me. And ticket links.
I'm supposed to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. Ticket links are on our website. Coming up when we come back, the hosts from political comedy talk show Seattle Process jump in for a round of New Day Hot Topics after a very quick break.
Yeah!